Hello and welcome back to the Chess Mindset. In this video, I'll be talking about the opening that got me to 1000 ELO, and this is the London system. Now, I think every beginner should play the London system because it is a very flexible and solid setup that you can basically repeat in every single game. And I've used this opening ever since I was trying to get to 1000 ELO, and now I'm around 1500 in bullets. So basically, the idea of this opening is you start off with d4 and you want to get your dark squared bishop out first, and then sort of lock it behind a pawn pyramid. So let's say something like this, and now you've built this pyramid of pawns that give you this very nice and stable structure. And then you're gonna bring your dark squared bishop out to d3, and then your knight to f3, your other knight to d2, and then you're just gonna castle. So this is the basic standard setup of the London system, and it's very solid because you can just remember this setup and play this setup in every single one of your games. You barely need to memorize any theory, and especially as a beginner, that's very useful because it prevents you from having to memorize tons of lines that make it just hard to play the game. And the thing I like about the London system is that as a beginner, you really don't want to be thinking a lot about what to do in the opening, because you want a position where you can just play and not easily get blown off the board. And the London system is actually hard to punish because it is very solid. And just to illustrate the point, if I compare this with something like the Spanish opening, which goes like this, where you put your bishop on b5, now you have to memorize tons of different lines. So what if the opponent pushes a6? Or what if they go knight f6, right? You have to memorize all of these lines that you don't really want to be memorizing as a beginner. What you need to get to 1000 ELO is just a very simple, repeatable setup that you can use in every single game. And that's why the London system is such a great opening, because it doesn't need you to memorize tons of lines. And in fact, you can play this opening in any order you want, but I prefer to bring my bishop out to f4 first before bringing my knight out. But you can play this in pretty much any order you want. You can bring your knight out first and then your bishop, and you will still get the same sort of setup that you have in the standard London system. So all you really need to memorize is the setup for the London system. And after you've reached this setup, now you can play the game with some knight e5 ideas and maybe even like a3, a4, and you'll have a very nice positional game where you don't easily just get attacked and blown off the board. So to see this opening in action, I'm going to be playing against the Maria bot on chess.com, and I'm going to be showing you basically my thought process on using this opening as a beginner. So you can see Maria is rated 1000 ELO, so I'm going to start off with d4. Okay, so we get d6. Now, same thing, we don't have to memorize tons of theory, we just bring our bishop out to f4, keep it simple. And she goes h6. I don't really understand that, maybe she's preparing some sort of g5 idea, but regardless, I'm just going to bring my knight out to f3. And the great thing about this is I can pretty much play these moves on autopilot, unless they play something like, yeah, e5. In which case I will just have to take, because actually that's just a free pawn. Now if I take and take, I will like trade queens, but like that's not really that important right now because I do win a pawn anyway. And she just goes with a5, so I'll take this pawn as well. If she takes with a bishop, I'll just take with my own bishop. Okay, so bishop f5 is interesting, but I'm just going to finish my development with bishop here and then probably knight here. Okay, so she takes my knight. Now I can take with the rook or the queen. If I take with the queen, I do get this open diagonal, but on the other hand, I want to kind of support this pawn, so maybe go like b4 or something. So I will take with the rook. Okay, so she goes f6. I will bring my bishop out, but the problem is if I bring my bishop out to d3, it blocks the vision of this queen, so then she can take this pawn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of improvise a bit. I'm going to play bishop to c4, and the reason I play this is because I keep a very nice vision on this diagonal, so she can't actually castle. Okay, so rook a7. I'm just going to castle, finish my development. And this pawn is pretty good right now. I can even push the pawn, I think. Maybe I should have done that on the previous move, but regardless, I think I can go queen b3 to set up this battery where I can probably take the knight. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to take the knight on the next move. Okay, so she takes the pawn back. Now I could take the bishop first, or I can just go for the knight. And I think I'm just going to go for the knight actually, because if takes, then I will take the rook. So that was just a free knight. And now I'm just going to bring my bishop back. Actually, no, my bishop's under attack, so I'm just going to take the bishop first, and then I will bring my bishop back to c4. Now I can also give a in-between move. So my bishop is kind of in danger right now, but not really, because my queen is protecting. But once my queen moves out of the way, then she can take my bishop for free. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to force a trade of queens. So I'm going to go queen e6, force a trade of queens. So now I've simplified the position, and since I'm up in material, this should be winning. So I'm going to go rook to d1, and then probably try to bring my other rook in the game. Okay, so we trade. I guess I will trade. I'll take with the bishop. Actually, that was just a pretty good trade. So yeah, now I can just go for the pawns, and it's pretty simple here. So this was sort of an improvised London system. I didn't get the full setup because she didn't really play the moves that required me to play the setup. So now I'm just going to win the game basically with rook here, and then I'm just going to take the rook. And to convert this game, it's pretty simple. All you really need to do is push your pawns and just go after the knight. And basically, yeah, she just hangs her knight, so we just take that. And the easiest way to win this is just take all the pawns and then just push your own pawns. And I will play against another bot in the next game, so just to sort of like get the London position like better, to sort of like actually get the London position, because this game it didn't really show the London system in its full effect. So I'm gonna play against, okay, so in this game I will play against the Nelson bot, who's rated 1300, just to sort of illustrate the point. So we'll go d4 first, and the London system goes to with bishop to f4, of course. And so Nelson likes to bring his queen out pretty early, but the thing with bringing your queen out early is it's pretty easy to counter if you know what you're doing. So always look for what is actually under attack. So this queen is currently only threatening one move, which is taking the bishop. So all I need to do is develop my pawn to e3. Right, and okay, so he gives me a check. Now that's not really that scary because I can just push the pawn to c3, and now this bishop has to move. And in fact, I can just take the bishop now. Now, although if I take the bishop, he will take with the queen and put my king in check again. But then I can just block with the queen, so it's not actually threatening anything. Yeah, so see now if I block with the knight, he will take this pawn, which looks a bit scary. So I'm just going to block with the queen, and now he can't actually take this pawn. So yeah, we trade the queens off. And now just finish off my London system setup, which goes with bishop to d3 and then knight to f3. And then we can just castle. So you can see right off the bat, right, this setup basically gave us a very nice position in the opening. And now I think I can just trade everything off because I am up in material. So what I'm going to do is bring my rook to this open file. So once I take the pawn and trade, I'm going to bring my rook to the open file and try to go after this pawn. So we get knight to d7. I'm just going to try to trade off the knight because I'm up in material, so you should always try to trade when you're up in material. And just take the knight. It doesn't really matter if I help him develop because, okay, well, he takes with the knight anyway, so now I'm just going to probably go after the knight, because if I get rid of this knight, then I can take the pawn. Okay, so that's just a free pawn. And king here. Now, I could give a check and then take the pawn, because this knight check will actually attack the pawn. So, after I give this check, and the king moves, now I can take the pawn on c5. And in fact, I can probably take the knight first, and then take the pawn, which is what I'm going to do. So if you take with the bishop, then I can take with the knight, and then I can threaten a discover check. So take the pawn. Now I'm threatening to take the bishop, but actually this is actually a very nice tactic, because wherever I move my knight, this will be a discover check on the king. So if I move my knight to e6, I have a discover check, and on the next move I can take the rook, right? So this is sort of a nice tactic that you see as a beginner to intermediate player, and now I can just take the rook, right? So now I'm just up at full rook, so this is basically a winning endgame. Now how do we convert this? Well, probably the cleanest way is to sort of just try to infiltrate on the 7th rank, and actually I can just pin this bishop. Now I can't move because of the rook, and now I can just trade rooks. So if we get the rook trade, yeah, there we go. Now this is just a winning endgame, and all I really have to do is push my pawns now and try to go after this pawn and then try to promote. So always bring, well, the most cleanest way to win these positions is to bring your rook to the 7th rank, because you can go after all of these pawns here. So just take the pawn and just take this pawn as well. And in fact, I can even sacrifice my rook now. Well, not now because he'll just take with the bishop, but I will try to sort of, yeah, just push the pawns. And okay, well, she just gives away the bishop, so now it's just winning. So just bring my rook here, and then take the pawn. Okay, and then just move it out of the way. So a lot of people struggle with Nelson because he always brings his queen out early, but with the London system, or just in general, you can just think about what is he actually threatening, right? So at the beginning, if we go back to move 1, so in the beginning, right, he brings his queen out to attack the bishop, but we can just push our pawn to e3, and in fact this is literally the London system setup. We still have to bring our pawn to e3 anyway, and then try to bring our bishop here, our pawn to c3, develop our knight, and then just castle. And yeah, in fact he just helps us do that with bishop to b4, and probably the best move here was to go back with the bishop, but he plays queen here, which just hangs the bishop. But yeah, the best move would be to bring the bishop back to a5 probably, or even just to bring it back to e7. But after that, we will just develop our knight with tempo on the queen, attack the queen, so he has to move back, and then we'll just bring our other knight, our other bishop, and then we'll just castle, and we're going to have a very nice position where we just don't have any weaknesses basically. And yeah, this is the opening that got me to 1000 elo on chess.com, and I highly recommend you try this opening out for yourself. It's called the London system. But regardless of that, if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.